Hello everyone, so in this video, let us talk about public as well as private in Golang. Now these two terms are very important in the sense is that let's say that we want to create any method or maybe we want to initialize a struct and we only want that particular methods to be accessed through only some packages or like only we want to access some fields in a struct. So in that scenario, we have to understand how we can give private functionalities as well as public functionality. So we'll take one small example so that you will understand all of that. So stay tuned. What I understand here is that how this structuring works. Let's first understand that we have created a folder that is Go course. Now all these files which I've created, these are directly inside this Go course. Okay, this is like Go files, and all of them has the package name of main. Okay, so all of them has the package main as their package. Now if I create one more folder here inside it, let's say I made test one and made one more like video inside it, put one more video, the package name changed to this particular folder name. That is like the common convention. So this is test one. Now what we'll do is let's just make a struct here on how we can make a struct. So we will first give type and let's make a struct of phone book, and it's a struct. And now you can see that our phone book has, let's say, 3 phone numbers. Let's define it here. And the phone numbers are all of type string, so these are different fields. And the first is primary phone number, secondary phone number, and private phone number. Can you find out any difference between how I declared these 3 things? The very simple thing which you can directly understand is that both of these 2 fields has the starting alphabet as capital, but this name has the starting alphabet as a smaller character. So if you put any starting character, okay, as capital, then it by default become public to be accessible anywhere. But if you create it like a small variable, it will be only accessed only in this package in where this is particular struct is defined. Similarly, this phone book, because it is capital, any capital thing, which means that it is public, it can be accessed throughout any, like it can be imported. Okay, like if you can import this struct in any different packages as well. You have to import it, but you can import that. If it is small p, then you cannot import this particular struct anywhere. You can only access this particular struct inside this particular package only. You can create one more file and access this particular struct there only. If I just make it small, that's the difference there. Maybe you want to create functionalities which is just reserved for these packages. So let's say you create a separate functionality for authorization. So don't want any other files to access the functionality provided by authorization. You only want a particular let's say data manipulation or anything in this particular package, and then you just give one function or maybe few functionalities as a public. Okay, maybe we'll talk about getter and setter also in the next video, but I'll talk about that. But let's just focus here that we have just created few fields, some are public, some are private. Now what we'll do is let us create a function. Okay, let us create a function, or let us now actually go inside this this file, and let's say that what we'll do is that we have created a struct in this particular package. If we want to use this inside this main package, how we can use this? What you can see is that let's say I want to create a phone number, so fn, and I want to create a phone book. So we have to first understand what is the, so we have to first import this test. Okay, this, so the path name is go course / test1. So let's import this. So you have to go to import. So go course test1. Okay, and you can also give it some name if you want. Okay, maybe you want to give it like how will you actually access this particular import. You want to, like, if you don't give it anything, you have to like use it by this test1. Okay, so this is giving errors quickly because I'm not using it. Let's say I'm not now using test1. Now automatically if I just do test1 dot, it will automatically give you that you can use phone book now, because phone book is a struct provided by test1. You can directly see it, it will directly reference to here. Okay, that is to this particular file from where I've imported and used it. And you can actually use it by just using test1. Okay, if I just write down some anything, let's say if I just want to use it like this, so phone. Okay, then I have to like somewhat write it down like this, so phone dot phone book. Okay, then it is fine. So you have to somewhat either give it a some sort of a like how you want to reference this, or like you can directly use it like this. Okay. Now you can directly just use phone book. But if I've created, let's say, an object or instance of this particular type, let's say phone book, can I like initialize this phone book? Like how can I initialize it? Okay, let's give it a primary phone number. I can give a primary phone number of, let's say, a string, so 1 2 3 4 5. I can give a secondary phone number of, let's say, phone number 67890. But can I give a private phone number? No, there is no field as private. So like if I just give private phone, which is like a field here, if I just write down like this here as well, this is not accepting this. Like this is giving it error that this is not a valid field you can use here. Why? Because it is private. You can see that these are public. That's why I'm able to use it here. These fields are public. If I also make this, let's say, private by making it small, or if I just make it like say the small primary phone number, then if I go to here, you can directly see that this is now also start giving error because it is, I'm using it as a public field, like, but it is not. That's why. So let us make it again public. So if I just go here again, so this is not acceptable. So now the main problem arises here is that, okay, I have a particular phone numbers, I have initialized public phone numbers like this, and I can also do fmt.println of this phone number. You can also do that. Also, let's just do a go run of this particular file and see like what it's actually printing out. It's printing out these two phone numbers, that is fine. I can similarly create functions as well that are either private or public. But again, what I mean by this is, let's say that I can either create a function like this. Okay, so what I've done is that I have taken a function that is call, like I want to call any person, okay, that it returns a string, and it takes a receiver of type phone book, and it will just return a string that call on either primary number or secondary number. Now what you can actually see that it is also a capital, so I've initialized this method as well in capital letter, the starting, just the starting character. Okay, now if I go back, I can also just do fmt.println of, so I have to just use this particular object phone, and now you can see that I can also use this particular function that is call, and that's it. Now if I just call this class again, it will directly just print out a call on this particular phone number or this phone number. Okay, so that is how you can understand that I can use public as well as private. Like you can just define anything as public or private. Okay, you can define out this struct, you can define out this, these fields inside them, you can define out like this method calls, anything you can define it public or private. By public, it means that it can be referenced anywhere, you just have to import that. But for private, you can only use that inside this particular package in which this is particularly defined out. Okay, but now what is the actual use case, like where I can use this? And like and the first thing is like, where can I use this? The second is that, like, can I just like manipulate this private phone number? Like if I don't have access to this, what's the benefit of this? Okay, the first benefit is that, okay, I can only use it inside this package. But if I want to use it outside this package, maybe I have a requirement in which that I want to create a phone book in which I have to first initialize all of these phones. Okay, so let's say I have 3 phone numbers. I will initialize all of these phone numbers inside this particular when I want to like initialize or create a phone book, I will create all of these phone numbers, put them, but I cannot manipulate them because private means that, see, I can do one more thing. I can just do phone number dot primary phone number and just change it to be something like this. And now if I just again run this, this is changed. So that's the like not a good part. Like anywhere in the code, I can directly just access this particular object, this particular field anywhere, and I can directly just change it. Okay, and that is changed. That is bad. I don't want to do that. So what is like, this is not a good way. So how we can like should not be doing this. Like this should not be allowed to us. Okay, I should not be doing this because private phone numbers, I should not lightly change them. This is a private phone number. Okay, so how can we like somewhat give us a functionality? I just want one functionality that I can just create when I'm creating a phone number. I should save the private phone number, but I should not have had any access to change it inside the whole code, like using this type of functionality. I can only create a private phone number like when I'm initializing it, but I should not have the access to change it during any other process. Like I should not be just using that to accessing here. In those scenarios, getter and setter becomes very handy. So I will talk about getter setter in the next video, but I hope you understand what is public and private in respect to Golang. So thank you.